So the holidays are another time where we're often celebrating and we're doing things anyway. And so just like anything else, use that opportunity, get some photo, get some video.
Absolutely.
Because if you're having a holiday party for your team, use this opportunity to get some good photos with the employees, post them on social media. One is it shows that you're a family, basically. You're a good practice to be around. I want to be around happy employees if I'm going in to get my ear checked. And also, it's a great way to recruit other employees, especially if you're having hiring issues.
I was just gonna
Use
say
what you're
that.
doing already and promote it.
Right. That really shows the culture of your practice that, you care about your patients, you care about your employees, you care about your community. It really does take a broad stroke across everything. One little effort there, one little, campaign, if you will. And it really does check a lot of boxes.
Hey there, welcome to the Dr. Marketing Tips Show. I am Jennifer, and today I'm joined by my very good work colleague, the other Jennifer.
Hi, I'm the other Jennifer.
So today we're going to talk about some things that we can do as practices around the holidays, whether it's to show appreciation to employees, to patients, or to referring partners. There's all kinds of opportunities to take what you maybe are already doing and using it as a moment to share and show gratitude and thankfulness and to really spread the love around the holidays. So I'm going to kick it off, Jen, because we've got a couple of ideas that we've been tossing around. I had a meeting with a CEO this week, and we were talking about the holiday card that we were prepping. And he started asking me, he said, well, who are you going to send it to? And we said, we're going to send it to referring physicians, and we're going to send it to PCPs, because that's who he really focuses on primarily. We're going to send it to PCPs in the area. And he said, well, where are you going to get the list? And I said, well, we're going to pull it from the database, but I'm also going to go ahead and use artificial intelligence to pull a master list of PCPs around the offices, and then we're going to drop it in the mail. He said, well, what's that going to cost? And I said, look, Mr. CEO, it's probably going to be about $1 to $1.50 per piece that we mail out. That's probably your inclusive cost to drop it. And he said, I don't know if I want to spend that money, Jen. We started talking more. He says, what are your other practices doing? I said, I already have about a dozen practices that have requested their holiday cards. They use overruns, and then they take those overruns to do visits.
I was just going to say that. One of the best ways to really show your gratitude during the holidays to referring physicians is actually going out in person. I know physicians, I can already feel the pushback coming right now. I don't have time for that. I've got soccer, baseball, football, whatever it is, after hours. There's no way there's enough time in the day to get out. But you know what? It really does set you apart from everywhere else. If you even just pick the top 5 referring offices and just at lunch pop by, bring a bottle of wine, bring a gift bag with some candy or cookies, whatever the case may be, and just say thank you. And for those other ones that maybe you don't have time to visit, pick up the phone. Pick up the phone, and even if you're leaving a voicemail, just say, you know what, thank you so much for showing the love to us this year. We really appreciate it. I value you, and I value the patients that you send to me.
Do you suggest, because we were talking about this earlier, do you suggest using the holidays as a time to maybe host a lunch or something like that at a practice, or to even buy lunch for the practice itself?
Honestly, the buying lunch thing, I think, gets lost. There's so many different companies now that just randomly will drop off lunches, and you really, half the time, the staff, the physicians, they don't really have any idea who even brought it for them. So I think it gets kind of lost. And if you're looking to, use your budget in the best way possible, you want that direct connect as much as you can.
It's funny, because so we were today, we're at a practice right now. We're actually in a physician's office, commandeering it for podcast episodes because we're filming and we're in between film. So they had a vendor brought lunch in. And the vendor probably spent $500, and we came in and had lunch too. And we're sitting there and we're eating it was Greek food, and we're eating like tzatziki and potato chips. And we're like, oh, this is lovely. And I said, well, who brought the lunch? And both of us looked at each other, so we have no idea who brought the lunch, which means if you're not able to sit and have lunch with the person, physically have lunch with the person that you're buying it for, it's probably not worth spending the money.
No, it really isn't. That's why I say a phone call, a personal visit to stop by and just shake the hands, or if you're doing call in the hospitals, if you're both at the same time, whatever that one-on-one interaction is, I mean, not only during the holidays, but really any time to say thank you for that. You should know who your referring physicians are and what those practice, your top 5, you should know that. So any given opportunity, you can say thank you.
Yeah, we have a client that we work with. We were talking about a referral marketing plan for them, and they were really just picking our brain on best practices. And one of the best practices that we've seen is like a lot of offices. So you have like the mothership office, right? But then you have like the satellite offices that are feeding into the mothership from a surgical standpoint or something like that. And so this practice uses the satellite offices, gives those office managers a small budget. They then identify the top referring partners in the community, and the office managers go out. And part of their role all year is to build those relationships. But they'll take the overage runs on the holiday card, plus they have a small budget that they can personalize gifts to those offices, and they will go use that opportunity to go out and to bring the gifts. For them though, they're not worried about the physician relationship, although that's great if they can get that. They're really worried about that office relationship, and so they might bring popcorn tins or something to leave in the break room, and they do it with the card, and the card usually gets put up on the refrigerator or put up on the bulletin board. So they'll use that as an opportunity. Have you seen other kind of like fun things that people do as leave behinds?
Yeah, kind of piggybacking off what you said with the satellite offices, a lot of time those offices are very embedded in the community, or they should be. A lot of times there's something special to that particular community that would be a nice gift. If there's a local mom and pop shop that does custom cookies, or something that's local or specific to their particular town or city or area of that satellite office, those are great ways to give back to your community, show your support of your community, and also introduce maybe another practice to that if they don't have someone kind of out and about or involved with the chambers or really know anything about the interacting of the community.
So there's a lot of there's the question that always comes up, and sometimes we find it stressful to figure out what the gift is going to be. Don't overthink the gift, but a couple that I've seen over the years that always kind of have some staying power or that are unique. One is wine. Wine's great. You got to be careful. You got to make sure everyone drinks wine. You can do a custom label for wine, and you could pop that custom label right on that wine bottle and customize it for your practice. God love you, Jen. Years ago, you gave me as a Christmas gift or a birthday gift or something, one of those
19 Crimes wine.
19 Crimes wine, which is Snoop Daddy's wine line. You could order a label and put me as the criminal on the wine label.
Yep.
Super clever, something that someone's going to remember forever. Another thing that I've seen, which I still see on practices, kind of big desk area, is I have a practice that brings out candy machines. And then you can put quarters in the candy machines. They use that to raise money for local charity. But then the candy machine has the logo of the practice on it. And so we have a practice that has a foundation. They have candy machines with the foundation's logo, which is also kind of the practice logo. They get their referring partners to put it on their desk, collect quarters, and then use those quarters for the scholarship campaigns that they're raising money for. Great way to share some love with the community, promote the practice, and build referral relationships.
Yep, absolutely.
Go ahead.
No.
I've got one that does a calendar every year, and I know that seems maybe a little antiquated, but what they do is a mouse pad calendar, because you're still using your mouse pad. Everybody's using one. And it's a mouse pad calendar, and we're doing it actually right now, and it's almost October, or mid-September. We're building the 2025 calendar. It's got the practice logo on it. It's got all the days of the year so you can see it at a glance. It's got the phone numbers, and it's got a QR code to the patient referral and the scheduling page on the website. They use that. They go out, they give that to employees as a gift, because all employees need their calendar, mouse pads, and they go out to referring partners and drop those as well. And it's a good way to keep your practice, top of mind.
Absolutely. And I know we're talking a lot now about like specialty practices and looking at that, general practitioner, that family practice. But if you're a family practice, taking a leaning into that kind of giving back or you know, kind of one step forward. But I was in a practice actually visiting for a specialty physician, and they had a giving tree. And they asked, instead of giving us a gift this year, we're asking you to make a donation by purchasing this ornament to put on our giving tree. And each ornament had the name of that referring doc, if it was an orthopedic practice, an ENT, whatever it was, all of the different community groups. It wasn't just referring docs, but they asked that of doctors instead of giving a gift or bringing us a gift or wine or popcorn tins or whatever it was that the office gets, again, loaded with, but to actually give back to the community. And they made it a local charity, and it was something really nice for the patients to see, because here they are at their family practice or their pediatrician's office, whatever the case may be, and seeing all of the other different specialty doctors that are in their area or in their circle of you know, community. It was really a nice idea that went from Thanksgiving. It was called the Giving Tree. Went from Thanksgiving straight through the holidays, and it was nice because it created social opportunities. It really did create quite a bit of community within that practice. So,
speaking of giving trees, so we were in a practice yesterday. And when you walked in, they had a painted tree of life on the wall. And at first it just looked like a large tree. And then I got a little bit closer, and on each of the branches, they were recognizing and saying why they were grateful for different people that worked at the practice. And so what it was is it would say, like, I'm grateful for Betty because, and then there were some that said, I'm grateful to, it was Dr. Clegg. So I'm grateful to Dr. Clegg because he fixed my knee, and a patient had put it on. So it had all these branches of the tree of life, showing like the giving tree and the family tree. And what a great way to show gratitude, to pass it forward. And it just kind of fit with the whole like theme of fall in the practice itself.
And all of the different messages were on different shaped leaves.
Yeah, they were great.
All over. And a couple of the employees at the front desk had cut out all of the different leaves shapes by hand. Every single one of them was done by hand.
Yeah, it was great. It was really, it was very well thought through. And this is a pretty busy practice. So if they can do it, you can do it, and maybe take that, you know, make it work for you or for your practice. So the holidays are another time where we're often celebrating and we're doing things anyway. And so, like, just like anything else, use that opportunity, get some photo, get some video.
Absolutely.
Because if you're having a holiday party for your team, use this opportunity to get some good photos with the employees, post them on social media. One is, it shows that you're a family, basically. You're a good practice to be around. You know, I want to be around happy employees if I'm going in to get, you know, my ear checked. And also, it's a great way to recruit other employees, especially if you're having hiring issues.
I was just
use what you're doing already and promote it.
Right. That really shows the culture of your practice, that, you know, you care about your patients, you care about your employees, you care about your community. It really does take a broad stroke across everything. One little effort there, one little, you know, campaign, if you will, and it really does check a lot of boxes. Yeah,
another thing that we're seeing, and again, this is stuff that you already could be doing, and you can cross multiple checks off your list. But another one, so we were with a practice last week, and then we commandeered the idea, and we're doing it with another practice this week, is we're asking employees and we're asking staff and doctors, what are you most grateful for? Why do you like working here? What are you thankful for? So you start thinking in terms of holidays. We can start thinking about Thanksgiving. We can think about, you know, the holidays being a time of gratitude and giving back and whatnot. And we've gone around and grabbed some quick videos asking people the same question, and now we're going to put them together, and we've got fabulous social posts getting ready to happen.
Absolutely. And like, again, it does create that camaraderie within your staff, you know. You may be going through your day-to-day and not really thinking about, you know, what is it that I like about here? And to go from one department to another, hearing that same thing resonate through every single department of your practice, as a practice manager, as a physician, it really should make you very proud to hear what they're saying across the board.
Yeah, it absolutely should. And it's just great social media.
It really is. It really is. But it's also a great way to show your staff that you appreciate them and all that they do.
Yeah, because they don't always hear it enough. And so to wrap up some of the other things just to be thinking about as we kind of are getting ready to approach the holidays, what are those holiday hours going to be? You know, what's the game plan for making sure we change that on Google and get all of our listings correct, because we're going to have to notify the general public if we're changing holiday hours. If you're changing your hours, use it as an opportunity to market to other physicians. I know it sounds silly, but medical practices still have fax machines, and we will often do a fax blast. And it's a great way to say, Dr. Jones will be closed this day, this day, and this day. And they'll be like, you know what, I haven't talked to Dr. Jones in a while. Let me go out and do something. So there's lots of things that you can do around the holidays, which are really just general housekeeping, but they're great ways to use those general things to promote your practice.
Absolutely.
So with
and
that,
don't forget to say thank you to your patients.
Yes.
And happy holidays. And you're grateful for them, because at the end of the day, they are what makes your practice, your patients, your employees, and you know, all of it you're grateful for.
And I'm going to end it with this one more idea. Have a holiday party. You don't have to have a Christmas party. You don't have to have some big shindig. Have a holiday open house. Just open your doors and say, hey, patients, we invite you to stop by from 3 to 5 p.m. on Tuesday for some cookies and some apple cider, and come on in. And then when you bring them in, get some photos, talk about the event, do all the great things. This is the holidays. It's a great time to say thank you. So with that, I say thank you to you. I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Jennifer.
We'll see you next time on the Dr. Marketing Tips Show. Thanks a bunch. If you want more like this, hit like and subscribe so you'll always be alerted to new episodes when they come out. And if you want information about us, visit us over at insightmg.com. That's insightmg.com. We'll see you on the next episode.